There's the time already. Wow, it snuck up on me again. Good morning. The title for today, and I'm going to take a little detour before I actually get to that subject, but the title is Discovering Hidden Rooms and Other Surprises. News update on Keenan and OPPT. Also Boston Marathon. But the big news. Not much sleep and vivid dreams has been the story for me of late. It seems as if I wake up every hour or two with little pieces of information that don't even make sense at first glance. I need to change that. The final dream this morning that I pondered for well over an hour was the discovery of hidden rooms. Large hidden rooms apparently beneath the building where I had my first job other than with my dad. It was the newspaper offices in Ridgewood, New Jersey. And who was most excited about finding those rooms besides me? It was the owner, who did not even know they were there. His name was Mr. Richmond. It seems I am starting to remember my dreams more than ever, and even to piece them together to get a broader meaning. Some say dreams are God's forgotten language, the way angels communicate with us. What other surprises will we discover as we begin to explore our hidden rooms? And I actually include a link in the blurb from the Neil Keenan update. Rising above the cabal divide and conquer tactic, OPPT, not to blame for threats. That's the article. And I will start there. I did listen to Freedom Reigns last night with Lisa Harrison. Sorry, I forgot your name yesterday, Lisa. It's on the tip of my tongue today, thank God. But once again, I was uplifted by the things that were shared. Not that there's a whole lot of specifics being shared, but the general theme and the attitude of the people is simply amazing. This is a new paradigm, folks. And for those of you that don't listen and can't see, I feel sorry for you. You get caught up all in the old paradigm stuff, and the new paradigm stuff just doesn't make sense for you. I get it. And bear with it, because it'll all of a sudden start to click, and the pieces will come together for you. But the interesting thing is, after I watched that video, or I shouldn't say watched, after I listened to that podcast, I went and, was it last night? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it was last night. Believe me, time all just mushes together, and I sometimes have to stop and think to get the sequence of how things happen, because so many pieces are coming together all at once. But in any case, I found the article put out by Michael Henry Dunn, whom I talked about a couple of days ago. He was the one that wrote the article that said OPPT had given death threats. Well, anyway, the article indicates that they finally called Lisa Harrison and had a conversation, and they realized it was the old cabal tactics of divide and conquer, getting all of us that want freedom to start fighting each other instead of pulling together and overlooking the differences and recognizing the similarities. That's their game plan, folks. They try to hang on. They try to hang on to their illusion of control and power as long as they can. But the game is over. The OPPT is only one piece of the puzzle. Neil Keenan has other pieces of the puzzle. NESARA has other pieces of the puzzle. The revaluation of the dinar and other currencies has another piece of the puzzle. BRICS nations has another piece of the puzzle. There's a whole bunch of puzzle pieces that are at work here, all to end the reign of the totalitarian cabal. And it's time that we that want freedom stop fighting each other and start pulling together, at least in the areas that we can pull together. There's going to be disagreements. We're not all going to see it exactly the same way, and that doesn't matter. Let's get over it and let's move toward the real goal of bringing peace to planet Earth and stopping the insane slavery system and the nonsense of the corporations, etc., etc. We need to move beyond that. That is where the problems are. We need to recognize that and start just shining light, shining light, shining light, and opening our hearts and loving one another to the best of our ability. It's not easy because we've been trained not to see this easily and not to do this easily, but we can do it. The Boston Marathon, the bombings, another PSYOP, another black operation. Do I know it? No, but I'm pretty sure that when they dig out the truth, it's going to be the same old, same old. There they were doing this exercise with bomb-sniffing dogs all around, and the government was involved in this process, just like on 9/11 and just like all the other things, the British subway bombings and all of these things are government operations. And bear in mind, governments are criminal operations. They are not what they appear to be. Nothing in our world has been what it appeared to be. Nothing. And that brings me to my dream. Before I get to the big dream that I spent so much time on this morning, there have been over the past week or so a whole bunch of little dreams. And I just I look at them and I thought, a picnic in the park with a lady that I don't recognize. And walking through the amusement park, going on rides at Disney World or something, again with a lady that I don't recognize, and traveling, in places that I don't recognize at all. All these little things, these little pieces of dreams, and individually, I didn't give them much time, much thought. But yesterday it began to come together in my mind. Spirit is showing me that things are going to be pretty okay. It's not cataclysms or upheavals that I'm seeing. It's peaceful things that I'm seeing. Things of returning to a level of being able to have fun and relaxation and traveling and spending time with. I see a lady in the dream, but I sure as heck don't recognize who she is. I don't have a name or a particular face, just that there's a lady there. And of course, in my dream the other night, where that tall lady came and took me into a massage room to give me a massage. I don't even remember the massage, but I remember the details up to that and after that. Again, I don't remember much about the massage itself, but the pieces, and I'm remembering these pieces of these dreams. And then this morning, I must have woken up 3 or 4 times before I finally was fully awake at 3 o'clock. And it was at that time that we were excavating something, and we discovered this room. First it was the ceiling, the roof actually, of a room that was buried underground. But then as we went down further and we got into the room, we noticed rooms off of rooms. There was more than one room. And I didn't even place the location of it till this old man appeared in my dream. Now, who's the old man? When I worked for the Ridgewood newspapers, my boss was Larry Shapiro. His father-in-law was actually the owner of the Ridgewood News, if I remember correctly. He was an old man, and he was sort of semi-retired. He would come and go at he pleased. And his office was right next to my office after I got my promotion. And so I used to see Mr. Richmond a lot, but Mr. Richmond shows up in my dream, of all people, and I recognized him, and I remembered his name. I don't even do that in real life. But anyway, he's like a kid in a candy store climbing up these ladders and discovering rooms up in the corner over there. And oh my God, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, here's a rich man. Here's a rich man discovering hidden treasures, I guess. I mean, I don't know what, I didn't see any treasures except that there were things that were stored and were things that were archived maybe, but they didn't even know that this existed. It was apparently right beneath the building in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Now, I don't know if there's anything hidden under the building in Ridgewood, New Jersey, but we spent all this time and just watching him. He was so excited. And I was excited. Man, look at these rooms. We didn't even know they were under here. And that's the way we're going to find it, folks, with what's happening with us in our world. There is so much that's been buried within us, within the unconscious and the subconscious of our own beings. Latent gifts, talents, and abilities that are there, treasures that have been in the shadows of our own basement, and we didn't even know they were there. And we're going to be able to explore them and bring this into greater usage. And we're going to be surprised and surprised and surprised as we realize the game that we've been in, how it was played, and we realize how we were duped and how we duped ourselves and each other, and how easily we were led astray and taken off course from seeing the truth behind everything. And as I meditated this morning, I thought, wow, that's what Spirit's been trying to tell me. That things that have been hidden are coming to the surface. I knew that. I've talked about that, from the beginning of doing these videos about the underworlds being opened up and the hidden treasures being revealed. I've been talking about that for a long time. But it's not cataclysmic. I mean, just look what happened in a couple of days with a simple phone conversation from Michael Henry Dunn, working for Neil Keenan, calling Lisa Harrison and having a conversation and realizing, wait a minute. Oh, now that we put the pieces together, it wasn't the OPPT after all. Somebody was trying to set it up to make it look like it was the OPPT, so that we would attack the OPPT, and then the OPPT would attack us back, and we'd start this war that had nothing to do with what was really going on, and the attempt by the cabal to do another one of their dastardly deeds and divert attention away from what they were really doing and away from who's really responsible for this, just like the Boston Marathon bombings. This is the game plan that they've been using for a very long time. A very long time. I mean, these cabal bankers, these private people that have owned the world, I mean, they're coming to the light. We're going to see transformation. We're going to see the rich man excited about discovering things that even the rich man didn't know were there. Yes, discovery. Discovering our hidden rooms. Surprises and surprises and other surprises coming to the surface so that we can start seeing with clean eyes, and we can start showing compassion for each other and loving each other and moving more and more into wisdom and getting beyond the pointing fingers and the criticism. And we learn that we're all together on the same team. Even the elite are on the same team, ultimately. They're going to discover, the rich man is going to discover the treasure, and they're going to be excited. They're going to be excited because they didn't see it either. They got so lost in the game, just like everybody else, that they couldn't tell what was really going on. They didn't know the hidden treasures. They didn't know the secrets that were beneath the surface. But this whole thing that we've been involved in is moving toward its climax. And I don't mean the climax as it being the end of the whole thing. I mean just like a climax is. You have this real rush of really good feeling and you release. And then you might fall asleep, or you might get just very peaceful. And peace is going to follow. And we're going to move into a whole new realm of discovery and building a world of peace together, a world that works for everybody. This is the kingdom of heaven manifesting on earth. And it comes to us sometimes in dreams. God's forgotten language, the language of the angels. Listen, listen to what your heart is telling you, and pay attention to the hidden messages in your dreams. Thank you for listening. Namaste.